it was a snowball effect, not realizing that we were going to have to create company after company after company. We didn't go into it with that wisdom, right? It just happened because we were not able to control the product quality for us and our investors. And so it happened, and it was kind of forced upon us. But I will say that even though the intent was not there, building up the company and hiring the right people has probably been our biggest lesson, because it's the hardest part, is finding the right people to sit in the right seat to be able to lead. And I don't know if you've read the book Who Not How, but Who Not How was the game changer for me of stop hiring people that you have to train. Hire the people that already know how to do the job, pay them well, and let them lead that, part of the company. So we ended up building it in a way that we were hiring leaders to run the companies for us. And then we'd hire coaches to come in and find the gaps. What are we doing wrong? We currently have an acquisitions coach. We have an operations coach. We have a leadership and mindset coach. Like, we believe in bringing the best of the best in to teach our team. And it's really a family atmosphere for us. So even though we've hired very wrong people and had some, bad lessons throughout the career, we are set up in a way now that we're attracting some of the best. And Flip and I now live in Florida. So that job has now turned into freedom, that we don't even start our work days until 11 a.m. And he gets to call every single morning, right? We get to just focus on us, our passion, what we want, our health. It just took a lot longer than expected, because, you can create the best plan in the world, but it doesn't always work out, and you just have to figure it out on the way.
If you want to give God a good belly laugh, tell him your plan.
That's right.
Amen.
But that's fantastic. And I totally agree. It's all about gathering the best team and giving them the resources they need to do the job. So, okay, so this is fantastic. And today, let's say, now you're into apartment building syndications. You're starting this hard money lending business. You've got these investment funds. How can somebody? What are some of the opportunities for people who want to invest with you? What can they do? They can do passive investing. They can purchase properties from you. Tell me a little bit about what is it? What do you offer to the end user?
Yeah, so we have created a chart to actually help people understand the opportunities that we have, because we are. We don't pretend to know it all. We're very authentic and genuine in all we do. We tell people our biggest mistakes and our biggest failures, because we think that's important. When you have that type of personality, it's easy to go to investors like yourself, Aaron, and say, Aaron, what are we doing right and what are we doing wrong? And people will give us that feedback. And without that feedback, we don't know how to improve. The reason I start answering your question this way is because on those conversations, people told us what they wanted. They said, hey, this is the type of investment I'm looking for. And we heard things like cash flow. We heard things like tax benefits. We heard things like liquidity. So we created funds and syndications and just investment opportunities that met all the things that people were telling us that they wanted. And everybody tends to have like 2 or 3 buckets, and they're wanting to invest in multiple things. So we created funds that will allow people to get in and out in 90 days if they want liquidity. We created funds that will lock you up for only 2 to 3 years if you want a higher interest rate and you want cash flow. We created funds that have compound interest if you want growth. Of course, we have syndications and funds that invest in apartments and self-storage that provide massive tax benefits. Then we have turnkey for the people who want control. So everything I just said were for the passive investors, right? They want to hand you their money and that's it. They just want to get the money and the check in the mail or get deposited right back into their account. But for the people who want more control, That's where we lead them to the turnkey properties so they can build their rental portfolio and own those properties and have a little bit more control over them. So we have every program, I could ever think of, so that if you got on the phone with me, I'd be like, I've got something for you that would meet your needs. And it was really out of our genuine concern of, you guys are on the same path as we are, and we want to help you achieve where you want to go. How do we do that? We do that by creating different types of vehicles that will give you different benefits.